Hey everybody, Chris Vaglou here from Song Swap Showdown. We are your weekly musical throwdown podcast. Each and every week, my co-host Amanda Sharp and I each swap 3 songs with each other that we may or may not have heard before, and then we rate those songs at a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a hard pass of a song and 5 being heavily music to our ears. The songs are chosen by spinning the wheel of themes at the end of every single episode. But today, I am here to let you know that your weekend is not complete unless you started off by watching Back of the Cereal Box with Johnny Beyond and the rest of the crew. Love you, Johnny. Keep up the amazing work and rock it.
Hey there, friends and foes. Good evening, Multiverse. Thank you very much to Chris Vaglio of Song Swap Showdown. We appreciate the love. Welcome to a very special Weeknight Bites. I wanted to get together with you guys and have a discussion about what Lucasfilm Marvel Studios can learn from Triple H and the WWE. And you can join in the chat, and we're going to do that right now.
Saturday morning, it's fun for all. Cartoons and cereal, let's have a ball. Comic books, kaiju, pro wrestling too. The fun is waiting for you. Back of the cereal box.
All right, so first things first, I need to thank the people who make this possible, our Cereal Box Super Friends. You too can have your name in lights at patreon.com/cerealboxpodcast, and we'll keep that banner running along the bottom so that you're reminded throughout the show. And we're also brought to you by my brand new book, The Rise of the Impossibilists, Tales of the Decoverse, Volume 3, and I actually have it in my hot little hands. Big Daddy Cool, Johnny Della Rocca faces an impossible choice. Fight his friends and mentors, or allow Rasputin to assassinate world leaders at the 5 Power Treaty Conference and alter history in an irreparable way. Rise of the Impossibilists, Tales of the Decoverse, Volume 3, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or directly from me. And guess what? It's going to be a signed copy. So the book is $10 directly from me. Signature is free. It's $15 on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or in the bookstore. Rise of the Impossibilists. Check it out. So I wanted to just pop up, and I know this is unexpected. You weren't planning to see me tonight or to join in the broadcast, but if you are watching, I want you to feel free to comment and ask questions. And if nobody joins us, that's okay too. This could be short. My question is, what can Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios learn from Triple H and WWE? Because WWE is killing it right now. 36 sold out live shows in a row, the highest rankings on TV they've ever had in their history. And what are they doing right? So before we get to that, though, I just want to share that today is New Comic Book Day in the United States. And so I thought it would be fun to show some new comics. Yum! I went to my local comic book shop and I picked up Defenders of the Earth #1 from Mad Cave. It's all the classics: Flash Gordon, the Phantom, Mandrake, Lothar, in a brand new adventure. And what I love about this is that they have solved Flash Gordon's biggest problem. The biggest problem Flash Gordon has ever had is that he never gets past Ming the Merciless. They retell that story over and over and over, and they've solved that problem in this first issue. That's all I'm going to say. Dick Tracy, #4. This book is phenomenal. Also by Mad Cave Studios, the same company putting out Defenders of the Earth. This is a great book, and it really makes Dick Tracy relevant It's set in his classic era, but updated for a contemporary audience. Really, really good. Really good. Speaking of Flash Gordon, Mad Cave has launched a Flash Gordon solo series with Flash Gordon #1. This is separate, though, from the Defenders of the Earth continuity. These do not line up. So I'll just tell you that. Now, one of the things I love that Mad Cave is doing is you can subscribe on their website and get all of the issues in digital format, because all of these are 5-issue limited series. And then at the end of the period, at the end of the subscription, you're going to get a single trade paperback copy of the entire collection. And it's like 19, 20, 25 bucks, depending on the book. I love that. And you know what? I might just do that just to support that endeavor. Ultraman and Avengers #1. This is another limited series from Marvel where the Avengers cross over into the Ultraman universe. I love this. Giant robots, kaiju, and the Avengers. You guys know, Avengers comic books, Star Wars movies made me who I am today. And Saturday afternoons were filled with kaiju movies. And this is everything I love in life right here in one book. Phenomenal. And then sleeper hit. This is a sleeper. I did not expect that this was going to be as good as it is. Cruel Universe #1. This is by EC Comics, coming back. And the first story is featured on the cover. All I'm going to tell you is I did not see the twist coming. And that's rare for me. And so when I am surprised, I'm really delighted. This is a great anthology book. If you love science fiction, you're going to love it. And I saved the best for last because this is the best single issue comic I've read this year. Johnny Quest #1. And of course, you've noticed a theme. All of these books fall into the theme of our Saturday mornings of our youth. Johnny Quest was a huge animated series when I was a kid. I loved watching it as a kid. All I can tell you is that this comic recaptures the fun, the energy, the intrigue, the style of that original animated series. And when I was reading it, I could literally hear the theme song. And, Race Bannon wearing a jetpack and sporting a machine gun. Listen, this was the most fun I've had reading a comic book in a long time. This was great. Anyway, that's my new comics. Yum! But let's talk about what can Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios learn from the WWE under Paul Levesque, Triple H's leadership. So, and I know what you're wondering. You're like, Johnny, I know you love Star Wars. I know you love Marvel Comics, but why are we talking about pro wrestling? Well, you saw it in the theme song. The Saturdays of my youth were cartoons, comic books, kaiju, pro wrestling, kung fu movies. And so pro wrestling is a huge part of my adulthood, but has its roots in the Saturdays of my youth. Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, Junkyard Dog, Paul Orndorff, the Iron Sheik, Tito Santana, the British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, all of it. And not just WWF, NWA, Sting, Lex Luger, the Four Horsemen, the Great Muta, Nikita Koloff, and, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. Magnum TA. And when I was a kid, Saturday mornings often meant having to jump between channels because WWF Superstars and NWA World Championship Wrestling were on opposite channels at the same time. Sometimes they came on one after the other, but sometimes they were on at the same time, and we had to, jump back and forth. And what's really funny about that is, this is an aside, the matches that I remember the most are from NWA. Sting, Lex Luger, the Horseman, the Boogie Woogie Man, Gorgeous Jimmy Valiant. You remember Boogie Woogie Man? Ooh ah, cool, cool kitty. Tell us about the boy from New York City. Came out to Manhattan Transfer. I mean, just great stuff. But that's a big part of who I am today. And I love Star Wars movies. I love Marvel movies. I love Marvel comics. But in recent years, Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios have come under a lot of fire from fandom. And it's really become apparent with the latest Disney Plus show, The Acolyte, and with some of the misses at Marvel Studios last year and the previous year with Eternals and Quantum Mania and the Marvels, which, by the way, I just want to throw this out there. I enjoyed The Acolyte. Was it my favorite Star Wars? No. Were there parts of it that I wish they had done differently? Yes. But did I enjoy it? Yes, because Star Wars is oxygen. So anything that is set in the galaxy far, far away, I'm going to enjoy. Same thing with the Marvel movies. I am a Marvel shill. Did I like everything about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? No. Did I agree with every directorial choice that they made for the Eternals? No. Did I like the Marvels? Yes. I actually love the Marvels quite a bit. Thor: Love and Thunder I thought was fantastic. Not a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, though, and I'm not a fan of Deadpool and Wolverine. Did not like that movie at all. But here's my question. WWE is doing something right. They just celebrated their 38th. I said 36 before, but that was as of a week ago. 38 straight sold out live events. Never been done in the history of sports entertainment. 38 weekly, twice a week, completely sold out. Highest rated TV ratings in the company's history. Highest buy-in rate of their what they now call PLEs, pay-per-views. Highest buy-in rate that they've ever had. They are soaring high, and most people will attribute it to two things. One, the departure of Vince McMahon, and two, the leadership of Triple H, Paul Levesque. Now, he took over as chief creative officer maybe 2 years ago, before Vince McMahon officially left. He was kind of running the show, but he was still under the umbrella of Vince McMahon. Well, almost a year ago now, TKO, which is the new company that formed when WWE merged with the UFC, became TKO. They made Vince McMahon the CEO, and then allegations started flying, and they gently suggested it was time for him to leave. Kind of like how President Biden was encouraged not to run again. And so Vince McMahon retired, left, and they immediately put Triple H in complete creative control. And here's what's going on. Triple H is listening to the fans. And I don't just mean reading comments on social media, reading comments online. I mean literally listening. He stands behind the entrance curtain in what they call gorilla position. In theater, it's the green room. He stands back there listening to how the crowd reacts to what they're producing. And he's not like Vince McMahon, who's on the mic changing the storyline as they go, but he is paying close attention and he's listening to the reactions. And they are making adjustments accordingly. But not only is he listening to the live audience, not only is he reading the comments on social media, he is actually standing behind that curtain with his phone in his hand, looking at the tweets on X in real time. And in some cases, making adjustments in real time based on suggestions, predictions, other things that the fandom is throwing out there. And he's giving audiences what they really want, but without being pandering. He's not doing fan service per se, but he's seeing what the want from the customer is and filling that want. And there's something to be said about that. I've always been one that has said when it comes to creative arts that you create your own unique vision and then you sell that and you find the audience for that. And while I still believe that, I believe that there's also a lot of value in what Triple H is doing. And recently, it looks like Kevin Feige has kind of turned the corner on this and maybe caught on a little bit. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't like gratuitous fan service. I felt like Deadpool and Wolverine was just nostalgic fan service for the sake of fan service. I don't like that. I think that's lazy storytelling. But if you can meet the fans' expectations and desires within the context of the solid story and solid storytelling, then that's great. That's what you should do. And up until recently, Kevin Feige, like Triple H, was under somebody else's thumb. He was under the thumb of Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek took over for Bob Iger right before the pandemic hit. And he oversaw failure after failure after failure and bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. And basically, he was telling Kevin Feige what Marvel Studios was going to do and how they were going to do it. Well, Chapek's gone. Bob Iger is back. And although Bob Iger is still pulling the strings overall, I think he's given a lot of freedom to Kevin Feige within a context. He said, look, we're not going to throw out 10 different projects in a year between film and TV. We're going to focus on maybe 2, maybe 3 at the most, and really focus on quality. And Kevin Feige has said, great, I can work with that. And what did we get? We got Deadpool and Wolverine, which I hated, but audiences love it. It's topped over $1 billion. It's the highest grossing rated R movie of all time. And it's a huge win for Marvel Studios and Disney. And, a lot of people are like, oh, Marvel's back. Now we'll have to see how they react to the Thunderbolts and Captain America, Brave New World. I'm actually enthusiastic about both of those movies and very hopeful. But here's what Kevin Feige has maybe figured out, that they need to listen to what fans, and particularly comic book fans, are saying. Can they depend on comic book fans to sell a movie? No. But there is a reason why people like me have been reading Marvel Comics for the last 40 or 50 years or longer, and why we have invested in some of these stories and why we care so passionately about them. There's value in that. And Marvel should listen to the fandom and not pander to them, not cater to them, but respond appropriately and produce product that they want to see. Because here's the thing. Those voices of hardcore fandom, when they're displeased, they are so loud that they drown out any positive feedback for a project. And it turns people off. And they don't go. Now, Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm and Dave Filoni, who is basically the Kevin Feige of Lucasfilm now, they have not figured this out yet. They are not listening to the fandom, and they have lost touch with who their fans are. Now, does that mean I don't like anything they're doing? No, I still enjoy it, but I'm a hardcore fan. You know, I'm a deep lore, a deep magic Star Wars fan. But I'm not one of those old guys that like only wants things to be one way and never change. I actually love it when they bring new elements into the Star Wars universe. And that's why I liked The Acolyte. It introduced a whole new dimension to the Star Wars universe. But now they've announced that it's not getting a season 2. We knew it wasn't. It was supposed to be a standalone one and done. But the director, Leslie Headland, ignored the basic tenets of storytelling and left us with a cliffhanger for a story that we will never see told on screen. And this is not the first time Lucasfilm has done this. They did that with Solo, a Star Wars story. And what else? This other standalone, I guess that's it. But you know, they've left us with cliffhangers and no guarantee of a second or third season. That drives me nuts. But here's the problem. They are crafting stories that, yes, they want to tell. And yes, they should craft stories that they want to tell, but they need to listen to the fandom. They need to listen, not just to the comments being posted. They need to listen with their ears. They need to pay attention to the live reactions to the tweets. Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni do not need to be sitting in an ivory tower at Lucasfilm. They need to be on the ground at the conventions, hearing from the fans and making adjustments appropriately. Because here's the biggest problem that Lucasfilm has. They have been hiring directors like Leslie Headland and saying, we want you to do Star Wars. But Leslie, we want you to do Leslie Headland's Star Wars. We want you to create a great Leslie Headland TV show instead of going to creators who love Star Wars and have a passion and a reverence for Star Wars and saying, okay, Seth Green, okay, Kevin Smith, okay, Kyle Newman, we want you to make a great Star Wars movie or TV show. Because that's not what's happening. Instead, they're saying, J.J. Abrams, we want you to make a J.J. Abrams Star Wars. That just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And they've got to listen to the fans on this. Dave Filoni, I love everything that you've done. I love Clone Wars. I love Rebels. Love Bad Batch. I really liked Ahsoka. The problem with Ahsoka was you had to do homework. It was basically Rebels season 5. And if you didn't know anything about those characters, you were kind of lost. But Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, you have got to listen to the fandom. You've got to hear what we are saying. You've got to become Triple H. You've got to hear us and deliver storytelling in the Star Wars format. Same thing with Kevin Feige, storytelling in the Marvel Universe, but that is driven by the passionate fandom. We will tell you what will work and what won't. What will work, what won't work. First day with my new tongue. We will tell you if you will just listen. This is the lesson that Marvel Studios and Lucasfilm need to learn. Listen to your fans. Listen to the passionate, fanatic, screaming fans. And create stories appropriately. I think that's it. I think I kind of drove that home. If you're watching and you'd like to comment, share a thought, go ahead and post it in the comments. We got a few more minutes, about 5 more minutes before we have to end. Let me know what you think. Am I right? Can Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios turn this around? Can they learn from WWE? Can they duplicate that kind of success? Is it too late? Have you already seen some changes happening that you're pleased by? Let me tell you, I didn't think Acolyte was a disaster. I didn't think it was hot garbage, which I would never say something is anyway. But what does concern me is that Lucasfilm previously pulled all of the episodes of Willow and the movie from Disney Plus. And just today, some fans have noticed that all of the Acolyte merchandise has been removed from the Star Wars store. Could they pull the show? Could they pull the series and take it off Disney Plus and pretend like it never happened? I know there are some fans that wish that would happen. I'm not one of them. I still want it out there. I still like what it introduced. But will Lucasfilm buckle to the toxic negativity, or will they listen to the positive fandom and make course corrections going forward? That's the question. Anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Coming up at the end of the month, at the end of October, is Comic-Con with New South Pro Wrestling. We will be there covering the event as a media guest. New South Pro Wrestling is one of our promotional partners, and I'm super excited about this. They're doing an anime themed wrestling show, and then in November in Huntsville, their big Star Wars themed show. Can't wait. Was there ever a match made in heaven? I think there was. And of course, we haven't talked about them a whole lot in the last couple of weeks, but we do have to recognize our charity partner, Comic Books for Kids. Check this out.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
Love it. And hey, while you're at it, get a copy of Johnny Quest #1 in comic book shops right now. You will not regret it. Well, that is it for me. If you like the show, become a Patreon supporter. Your support helps us produce this content. We really appreciate it. We know we don't deserve it, but you help make this show possible, and every show is dedicated to you. I want to thank everyone who tuned in to our Mighty Mouse episode last weekend and to the Superman episode the weekend before that. They are now our 2 highest rated shows in the first 7 days out of all of our shows in the last 4 years. That's thanks to you guys, and I appreciate it. So share those episodes. Share this episode with 200-300 of your closest friends and family. If you're whatever platform you're watching or listening, give us a 5-star review. If it's on the new Apple website, podcast.apple.com, or if it's on Spotify or iHeartRadio, whatever platform you're listening, watching, and consuming this show, subscribe, like, comment, give us thumbs up, hearts, and share it. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And I think that's it. Until the next time, love you, mean it. We'll catch ya on the back of the cereal box. Ta-da!
It's like Coca-Cola.